Okay. Oh, let me know if you can see me, okay? Can everybody see me and hear me? Hello, everybody. Oh, it's a mad, mad world. All right, can everybody see it here? Take a look here at the chat. See who all is here. Let's see, I've got, there's Boots and Bounty. Hi, Cajun Hydroponics. Hi, Danny. Who else is in here? Mary's Ranch and Wild Cooking. Hi, Mary. Garden State Gardens. Hey, there's Boone Child. Hi, Boone. Chicken Johnny. Hello, Chicken Johnny. How is everybody doing tonight? I'm going to go and I'm going to mute my volume for just a second here and get YouTube up because I want to look at something in chat real quick. If you'll bear with me just a moment, this will be just a second here. Da, 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 da. Let me find. Where is this live stream? There he is. Let's see. Just going to get the live stream up and mute it. There we go. Let me take a look here real quick. I've got Voonshao here. I need to make some moderators, so you know what's going to happen. Of course. Hello, Mrs. Bose Grows. Oh, wow. Won't get out of the high 40s and lows. The next 2 days will be right at freezing. Yeah. Yeah, I heard something about there's going to be some cold weather heading our way. I don't know. I've been seeing the clouds moving quite a bit. Okay. Hi, Kitty. So what are we doing here tonight? There's PA Grow King. PA Swarm King, sorry. I must have been hitting the sauce too hard already. Hello, Robert. Well, we got some people in here tonight. I was going to tell you to come on in, have a seat, have a seat. Oi. We have the nicest studio. It's just like being in your own living room. Can't do Fahrenheit. Yeah, trying to do the calculations. I can't figure it out myself, so I just try to stick with one. So, moderators, if you could please post links up there in the chat as we name off some people, if you could, pretty please, pretty please. Just wanted to thank some folks that were on here last week. We had Tim with Ridgelife came on, and we had Karl from Karl's Off the Grid. Those are both really good friends. We have also had Jules Small Gardening stopping in just to keep us company. And we had Darren and Lynne, who are the two team captains from the Southern Hemisphere Shed Wars. They were on last night, and they were joined by Mark and John from the Northern Hemisphere of Shed Wars. So all those people, if you could, I know it's a lot of stuff to keep up with, but as you can, just sort of put those into chat. How many people would you have in here right now? Ugh, I can't talk. But 14 people in right now. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time keeping up with chat. I always do, but I'll try to follow along. Chicken Johnny's saying 43 degrees there. Here it's, I don't know. I didn't. Yeah, you did that. It's chilly out. Like I said, it's been blowing quite a bit after the sun went down. This morning it was, well, it blew a lot last night too. This morning we had clouds sort of circling around each other, and I don't know what's getting ready to come up here in the next day or two. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a white Christmas. I haven't seen one of those in the coon's age. Okay, we got 16 people in chat right now, and I guess everybody else is just going to have to wait for the replay. I've got an announcement to make about a giveaway. I've got one pecan tree left, and I was thinking we ought to do something about giving it away. How about this? I would like for the people that would like to receive a pecan tree shipped to them to make the case for why you should get a pecan tree. And you can do that in chat, or preferably whenever this video goes and resolves with the on the I can't talk. When this video posts, put down in the comments section a link to a video that you've made making your case for why you should get a pecan tree. And then on our next live stream, we'll have a vote in the chat for who gets the pecan tree. The rule is you can't vote for yourself. So come up with a reason why you should get a pecan tree, and I will ship one to you. All right, that's the giveaway announcement. Oh yeah, we're just making a mess here on the floor. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I couldn't afford the post. I don't even know if I'm allowed to ship to England right now. I was talking with Eric Hayden. He does Eccentric Nature. Oh, Boone, if you can, whenever I mention some of these channels, if you can put the links for them in chat, that would be great. Although I think just about everybody who's in right now already knows all of these people. I'm pretty sure everybody knows all these people at the moment, but there could be somebody that's watching after the video goes public that might not already be familiar. So just as you can get to them, do some link posting. PA Swarm King does not deserve a tree. You all right? It's for the housekeeper later, yeah. Oh yeah, so I was talking with Eric Hayden, and he's out there. I can't remember exactly where in England, Surrey, I think, somewhere around Surrey, and he would like to have a pecan tree, but I'm not sure about the rules for shipping internationally at the moment. They may not let us. Garden State Gardener is new. Okay, you can be new. There's nothing wrong with it. Hi, Amy at Craze Family Homestead. All right, so the dirty secrets that I wanted to talk about tonight. Oh yes, we're gonna share some dirty secrets. Oh, by the way, Miss Bose, I understand that there are some nurseries up there in England that do have pecan trees. There's at least one very large one, I think, around Kent, that's just bearing thousands, well, over 1,000 pounds every year, and has been for a long time. So somebody up there is bound to have one somewhere. If not, there's always hazelnuts. You can always grow hazelnuts. They grow well in England. They grow okay here too. Okay, let's see. Dirty little secrets. I wanted to talk a little bit about rooting hormones. These things. Ta-da! Let me get that up to the camera. There we go. There's rooting hormone. This is indole 3-butyric acid, which is similar to the naturally produced auxin that plants have that causes them to root, called indole 3-acetic acid. They're very, very similar, not exactly the same. But that's what you can buy to dip your cuttings in to give them a little bit of a better chance, maybe 10, 15% more chance of actually rooting. Yeah, definitely look for some hazelnuts. They come on pretty quick. I've got 2-year-olds that put on catkins, and they're going to be making me some nuts this next year. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hi, Jules. Jules Small Gardening. I think you could probably grow a pecan tree in your backyard as well if you want to get in on the competition. Let everybody fill you in. Ordinarily, I'd like to start out with a plant profile. And where did I put that thing? Oh, yeah. I have here a very, very sad looking aloe plant. Look at this. Aw, very sad looking aloe plant. This is just a baby. It's only in its first year and it's already been through a lot of tough times. I stuck it in the kitchen window. The kitchen window faces north, so it wasn't getting a whole lot of light. And then the cat ran through. Then Mary decided she was going to help, and she wound up tipping it, and it fell out of the pot, lost most of its roots. But this one's just a little baby. It'll take it about 3 or 4 years to reach adult size if I uppot it. If it stays like this, it's not going to do anything. But we've got these stories that we hear about certain plants or other products being useful for a substitute for rooting hormone, and aloe is one of those. As a matter of fact, it's one of the ones that my grandmother used to use. She would use aloe and willow water together in combination, and she was just a wizard at getting plants to root. Like, she could put a stick in the ground, it would grow. 500 years ago, they would have been burning her at the stake. But the question is, do these really have any rooting hormone in them at all? And if not, what are they good for? Nunya, Texas got tons of aloe. Yeah. Well, let's see. What's aloe good for? Well, it's good for wound care, antifungal, antimicrobial, and also if you consume it, it'll help you out if you have eaten too much cheese. We'll put it that way. So it helps. I've never tried it for that particular purpose, but I hear that it's quite effective. Oh yeah, definitely for sunburn. Patty says, never heard that before. Certain types of willow water. Yes. As a matter of fact, I wanted to get into that. So of course we know about the rooting hormone that you can buy, and this doesn't cost a whole lot for how much use you get out of it. I've still got tons of this, and you just dip a little bit in and you're good to go. But we've heard of some other things that have been used, like, oh yeah, it cleans the pipes really good. Like, for example, cinnamon, which incidentally I happen to have in my coffee. You kill aloe? I'm really bad at raising succulents, any kind of succulent. So if that thing survives, it'll be a miracle. I've heard that cinnamon can be used as a rooting hormone, but actually, no, doesn't have any rooting hormone in it at all. It may help fight off bacterial infections, perhaps, but no hormone. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, what's that? Aspirin. Does aspirin help? Well, it's got salicin in it, salicylic acid, which, once again, is helpful for fighting off microbial infections in your new cuttings. So it helps, but it is not a rooting hormone. Next, we've got this stuff. This is actually honey. It's very, very, very dark. Neighbor had a hive that he broke down a couple of years ago, gave us a few pounds. He hasn't put it back together. His swarm took off, and I'd still have a little bit of this stuff left. But honey, people have been saying that honey is good for a rooting hormone. Well, it doesn't really have any auxins in it, so it's not a rooting hormone. But yeah, it can help by preventing fungus infection and bacterial infection as well. So all of these things, we've got our cinnamon, aspirin, honey, probably honey more than anything, is helpful, but once again, no rooting hormone. Willow water, on the other hand, does have some of the auxins in it that help induce rooting in other plants. The only problem is, and I found this out this week, that whenever you steep your macerated willow in water, you only get about 25% of the rooting hormones into the water because it's not very water soluble. If you wanted to get more of the hormone out, you would need to macerate your willow bark or your willow, inner bark, cambium layer, and steep it in alcohol, make a tincture, and then evaporate your alcohol out. Hello, kitty. You heard that there was an aloe plant and you want to go lay on top of it? Yeah, I know. All right, go on. And that would be more effective than soaking them in water. Obviously, you don't want to put alcohol on your plants. Oh, there was one other thing. Apple cider vinegar. Once again, good for fighting off microbes, killing off bacteria that might put an early end to your cuttings. But that is the dirty little secret about rooting hormones. Most of these things that you see little videos being made on this is a substitute for rooting hormone. They're not really substitutes at all. They may have some effect, then some things might not have any effect, but not really rooting hormones. So, as you know, this is an open format, and you can always click on the link either up there at the top of the chat or in the description section. I put a link down there. You can join the stream. Maybe you've got a family recipe for rooting cuttings that works really well, that you've been told is a substitute for rooting hormone or something of that nature, and you'd like to talk about it. Hey, that's cool. Or you could tell me what I need to do to keep that aloe plant from dying, because I'm about clueless. What do we got going on here? John, will it grow? Hi. Who else is in here? Let's see, this option. Tim. Hi. Merry Christmas, Tim. How are you doing? Here's Tim at Ridgelife. I'm going to pop over here to the chat real quick. Let's see. Yeah, thumbs up. They're free. You come into the live stream, just do the minimal effort. You know, click, one click. That's easy. Yeah. Speaking of minimal effort, I put on pants today. Yep. I was thinking about doing a song about putting on pants, and I was going to rip off a whole bunch of people and make a parody. I put on pants today to see if they still fit. Okay. And I decided against it. I don't know if they both count, Amy. I mean, they count as some kind of interaction, and I've heard that I did. I put on pants. You want to see? Look, see? Pants. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Yay, I put on pants. It's an accomplishment. Hi, Mark. Oh, speaking of, where was it? Where's that? Aloe vera, yeah. Laxative, wound care, rooting hormone, yeah. Indole 3 butyric acid, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. All right. So I'm going to go do some up-potting here in a second. But before I get to that, would you guys like to see a mail call? I got some mail. I got some mail from Mark. I'm going to turn the package so that you cannot see his address. Mark Smith. Yep. And yep, that's me. So this is some seeds from that seed pack for Shed Wars, even though I told him I didn't really need them. Pants go on the inside. I'm not sure if I want to know what that means. A very strange sense of humor, Miss Bose. Very, very strange sense of humor indeed. Okay, so what do we get? We've got, oh, there's more. I need more hands. Mary will be here tomorrow. We might, oh, I'm spilling some. There's one of these upside down. No comment. What were these? Beets? Okay, I can use some beets. As a matter of fact, I could probably use some very soon. Okay, we got some beets. What else we have here? We've got, what are these? Melons. Okay, these are, looks like some kind of a muskmelon, perhaps. Charinthia melons. All right. These things. I've never grown these. Mail call, yay! Amy got her seeds. Yeah, it's, well, mine says, Jason wants some seed, and it's got T and Woodcutter, hashtag shed wars, hashtag seed swap. Yoo-hoo! I understand the bull got his yesterday, I think. So we got beans Cantare. Don't know what kind of beans those are. Want to take a look at them? See what they look like. What are these? Oh, okay. These are a white bean. These are like small, small white beans. Give it a little bit of a ham hock or something. Let's see. Yours said girl gardener or something like that. That's nice. Mustard. Mustard. Okay. Thank you. I needed some mustards. These are Southern Giant Curled. I will definitely be planting these. I'm not going to give these away. They're mine. Mine. Oh, mine. My precious mustard seeds. Okay. Stop being weird, Jason. All right. What do we else we got? What else we got? We have an unlabeled package. No, it says Luffa here in the corner. I have some Luffa seeds, but I think they're about 20 years old. I never got around to planting them. I really should plant some Luffa because you never know. You can always use it for wiping things in emergency situations. These are peppers. Will it grow? Baby bird beak pickling pepper. Source Brazil. Ooh. 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 That's the entire pepper right there. Ooh. Okay. I've got to grow them now. I've got to grow them. And something is crawling up. When do you get off my screen? There we go. Okay, I've got to grow those. Telling you these critters. Oh. UK Kerbit winter type. What is that? A cucumber? UK Kerbit. You can't read the package from there. Okay, this is UK Kerbit winter type. So, nope, that's some kind of a squash. That's not a cucumber. I don't know exactly what kind of squash. Might be a pumpkin. Could be a pumpkin. I don't know. We'll do some further investigation. What else we got? We got sweet red organic heirloom. Sweet red what? Sweet red what, Mark? These are sweet red. Oh, these are peppers. Okay. Those are pepper seeds. All right, what else we have in here? This one is hot chili, North Ireland hot chili. Okay. And I got the entire pack of kale because nobody wants kale. I do want to grow some kale. I'm thinking about using that as an understory biennial or perennial. Might work really well. Anyway, Mark, Arkansas Woodcutter, thank you very much. I will definitely find a use for these. All right. There was something else that arrived in the mail. And this is something that I've been looking forward to for quite some time. Let's see here. This is from Aardvark Teas, and it is a tent. A green tent that says Shed Wars on it. It arrived. Yeah. What do you think? Want me to try it on? I could try it on. Who wants to see me try it on? Anybody? They're leaving the chat. You got the shirt? Yeah? You got your shirt today, Amy? Nice. All right. Boots and Betty and Mark both want to see me try it out. Okay, so I was thinking about doing a thumbnail for another video, and you know how thumbnails really sell videos, and the ones that really sell are the ones where they have the presumably attractive girl with the pose with the shirt off, and of course her back to the camera, and of course none of that is in the video at all, but people just keep on clicking on it, right? All right, so this is my version. I don't know. What do you think? Hmm? Do I need to like swing the hips one side or the other? All right. All right, there we go. What do you think? Nice cut. Hi, Mary. Troll butt. Oh, hey, Mary, are you parked or are you still driving? Ah. Right? No, it's a 38, Nanya. That's a yeah, I don't care. Are we allowed to show these? This one is a 38 special from Charter Arms. This is a very inexpensive, very inexpensive piece with the Crimson Trace laser sight on it, because let's face it, that little tiny short plane or sight plane isn't really enough to sight really well. But you need an OnlyFans site. I was actually talking with Mary about that. I said, hey, you know what? I could get an OnlyFans. Like, yeah. I won't even have to take off my clothes, because who wants to see that? Oh my goodness. Mm. So links up there at the top of the chats down there if you want to hop in and chit chat. Mary says have to dock in a few. Okay, cool. I don't know if we'll still be on, but cool. See, we have here repulsive. John says. uh, nice. Shirt, seed, and grill lights. Now I can grill with John. Cool. Okay. Susanna Stack, ready for Christmas? Oh, no, I'm never ready. I am never ready. Oh, hi, Homestead Aus. Oh, bye, Homestead Aus. You were just in here and took off. Oh, I have such a hard time keeping up with chat. All right. So there was one other thing I wanted to get done today, and that is get some of these plants that we got started. Oh, what was that? Our first live stream. We need to get these potted up. So I'm going to go switch the camera view and go over here to our grow tent cam. There we go. And I can't hear what anybody is saying because there's nobody else on with me at the moment. So, all right, let's go take a look. Oi. All right, so this is the tray that we started everything in. That was about, what, a week or two ago? And not really pleased with the germination rate at all on these peppers. It didn't do fantastic, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10, so 50% germination rate. And this little guy right here, this is a basil plant that was in the seed starting mix. Finally decided to germinate. So I'm going to use this very specialized gardening tool called a stick, and just get these guys loosened up. All right. Try to preserve as much of the roots as possible. And make a little hole. Put our little basil down in there. I love basil. So get her firmed up. Do another hole here. So whenever you see somebody talking about pricking out, this is what they're talking about. Pricking your seedlings out of their starting medium, their starting bed. Kind of long and spindly. I hope that takes off. This other one. Now the ones I'm transplanting right now are Cayenne Pepper. There we go. Just throwing stuff on the ground over here. I pre-moistened this mix, so it's already a little damp. Oh, yeah, I'm throwing my index cards into the fertilizer. That's good. When I pre-moistened it, it was a couple of hours ago, so it's already starting to dry out a bit. I need to get these guys watered in fairly quickly. Let me get the holes. Go. There we go. All right. Fairly decent root systems. This one there. And the last one. Nice long root on that. There we go. Okay. I'll just get them watered in. What does it say? Oh, it's about 75 degrees in here. All right. We'll start out with this stuff here, which is a little bit of our homemade fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, diluted in water. Just pour that in there. Get these good and muddy. Here we go. All right. And we're going to add water to the bottom here. These cups I also poked holes in the bottom of earlier, so they've got the 4 holes in the bottom, and they'll be able to supply water from underneath through sub-irrigation. There we go. And now all I got to do to water them is just make sure that you have a little bit in the bottom there. They'll stay watered. And so I've already mixed the fertilizer in with the water, so they're getting watered and fertilized at the same time. It's one of the sweet peppers from earlier. Let's have a look at that one. All right, down here at the bottom, I don't know if you can tell it on that camera view or not, but these 2 leaves down here at the bottom are turning yellow. And that is actually fairly normal. Those are the initial leaves, not the true leaves. Those are the first leaves. And now that the plant no longer has a need for them, they're turning yellow, dying, and dropping off. Just recycle that into fertilizer. So there we have our peppers and a basil plant started here. Let's switch back over to the other camera. And with Mark, Arkansas Woodcutter.
Hey, just in time.
Mark.
What's going on? You caught me in transition. Sorry. I'm enjoying watching you garden a little bit. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Oh, I know why I can't hear you. Hang on. I had my volume turned down.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. The problem was on my end. Whenever I went to go open up YouTube to be able to make sure that I had moderators, I turned the volume down to my speaker, so I didn't get an echo.
Okay.
I forgot to turn it back up because there wasn't anybody to talk to at the moment.
Well, there still may not be. It may just be, this here. I don't know.
Well,
Hello?
I can hear you. Hello.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I can hear you just fine. I just had the volume on my speakers turned off. It was me, Dirt.
Yeah, Jan's saying hello. I don't know how far the stream is behind the chat.
Oh, who knows? Let me take a look at the YouTube chat. YouTube chat's a little bit ahead of where I'm at in StreamYard chat.
Oh, okay. Well, let me look at StreamYard chat, see if I can pull that up. I can pull it up, but when I do, I can never get out of it. Mark looks purty as a white circle. All right. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate that.
Mark looks purty. All right. So what are they talking about there? Get packages all the time. Why is the light pink? The light is actually a combination of sort of indigo and magenta, and whenever they come together, they look kind of pinkish. But those are wavelengths of light that plants really appreciate and grow well with. And that's why it looks pink on those LEDs. Let's see what else is going on. Alrighty. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah. So we've been on for about 40 minutes or so. What are you up to, Mark?
There we are. What am I up to? I'm trying hard not to go back to work. There's a lot to do here, but it's not the right time to be sitting at home this much. That needs to be done later. I will water some pecan trees today.
Nice.
I put them out yesterday. We had some good weather. And so, I got them in a pot pretty quickly and watered them and sprinkled some bone dust and blood meal on them. Just a real light dusting. And then today I went back and checked on them to make sure that everything was still good. And I knew it was going to get colder here the next few days. So I moved them back into what's left of the greenhouse and along with some other fruit trees that I got from start. But let's see, what else did I do today?
I feel you're going to want to get them into where you cut your thumb. Why'd you do that?
I nearly cut the tree and the saw got away from me and caught the end of my thumb.
Ouch.
Yeah, it hurts.
Depending upon the saw, that can be pretty catastrophic.
Yeah.
Those pecan trees, you want to get them to their wherever they're going to be permanently while it's still cold out, if you can. So that way when you wake up in the spring, they'll be waking up and going, "Oh, I must belong here," and they'll take off and grow pretty well for you at that point.
Well, what kind of ground am I looking for exactly, Jason? I mean, you're the one growing pecans, so I'm going to ask you to start. And you've got a lot of great knowledge about this stuff. I've got some areas that are kind of soggy the first few months out of the year, and they're prone to flooding in spring. Will a pecan that young survive there?
Depends upon how long they stay flooded. If they flood for a day and then it goes away, they'll be fine. Okay. If the flooding lasts for weeks, maybe not.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a week or so. Last year, 2 different times it flooded for 2 or 3 days back there.
Okay.
So we're right on a creek that overruns its bank, and we're in the 100-year. Part of my land is in the 100-year floodplain, and I've never seen it come all the way up to the edge of the 100-year floodplain, but I've seen it pretty high in the yard sometimes. Yeah,
because we have the wet feet, they don't mind it too much, and they do a pretty good job of getting down to the water table with their roots. So
I've got 3 locations picked out. I'm going to put them. One of them I planted a young hickory there last year that I moved myself, that I found in the woods. And then this year I'm going to move one of the pecans to that area. I've got an area it's high and it doesn't flood. It's on the higher side of that same area. And we've been cutting some pines and stuff, kind of making a sheltered area for it to begin its life in, and then we can keep cutting stuff away from it as it takes off. But
it's simply saying they can only take so much water. Yeah, you can ground, but they can handle a little flooding. They'll be okay if it's just a little bit. Hickory crop farmer pecan is fairly similar to shagbark hickory in the terms of what conditions they are related. The old native name for it was heathland, which also applies to hickory nuts as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of hickory. The woods where we are is still got a lot of the natural species in it. It's got some, wild cherry, hickory. There's various oaks, pin oaks, red oaks, blackjacks down by the creek. Gets the gnarly, blackjack oaks. Yeah. White oaks. There were some persimmons, wild plum. So the area we're in has still got a lot of those good, diverse canopy trees in it. There's still holly in some areas, and it's most woods have been cut and overcut and cut so much that a lot of that undergrowth diversity has been lost.
Yep. We got to start adding the stuff back in, I guess.
Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping. The stuff that I bought from Stark this year, I'm hoping is mother stock that I can begin to find selective places to guerrilla garden in my community and start spreading some of this stuff out.
Right. Yeah. I was looking at the bike path that runs nearby where the house is. It's the old KD line, the old KD railroad line. Yeah. They pulled the rails up. They just left that embankment and then put a little bit of pavement over the top of that, and now it's a bike trail. The trail runs up through the Tulsa metro area and around for about 40 miles. And I was looking at how much space is available alongside that trail, and if you were to stagger it with pear trees, plum trees, cherry trees, hazelnuts, pecans, maybe a walnut here and there, you could plant up all along that trail where people are jogging, hiking, and biking, so they have a nice shady spot to recreational activity in, and if they're hungry, they can stop and there's the food.
And that's something I've been thinking about, and I didn't put any thought into when I purchased my trees. I think it was you I was talking to that was talking about how quickly fruit is. You get a few, then you get a main harvest, and then it's done. And so if you're not preserving it in any way, then, it's just, you can have all the fruit trees, all the whatever you want, but if you don't have a way of preserving it, then it's lost production.
Yeah.
But it made me start thinking of, well, instead of having a lot of one kind, it would be better maybe if I could extend the season from things that matured early in season, like a cherry
Right.
and a plum, then peaches, then apples and pears and nuts and persimmons, is extending that range of harvest. And what are the boundaries of that, as far as fruiting crops? Where does that perennial fruiting, where does that begin and end in your zone? That's kind of where my thoughts are right now. And I don't even know how to begin to research that other than just think of known varieties and plant species I know about, and then begin seeing, how early.
All right. Well, give me 1 second here, and I'm going to throw a link out for you. This is I should be able to find it pretty quick because it's saved to my favorites.
See, this is agroforestry. This is what you spend time researching and doing in it.
Yeah, I do a lot of this. Let me put this link here. There we go. All right, that is Plants for a Future, and that is a website where you can go and research all different kinds of plants. They have a very comprehensive database. You just plug in your zone, plug in your growing conditions, what kind of soil you've got. You can even set criteria like you're looking for something that's edible. Okay, how edible? They have an edibility index of, I think it's 1 to 4.
Yeah,
1 to 5. So if you're only looking for the premium, this is really good stuff, put in a 5. But some really good stuff that they list as a 4 is pretty darn good too. I put it at 4, and then if I'm really, really, really stretching, maybe 3 for some things. But you can put in and just search and find all different kinds of edible stuff. If you want medicinal plants, there's you can put in a criteria for medicinal plants. Just about anything you can imagine. The one thing that they don't provide there, which I really wish they did, is mycorrhizal associations that the plants have. You have to look those up separately, unfortunately.
I've got a book. I was in a David Good live stream, and one of his chat people was offering a book about mycorrhizal associations. It's basically a text of subsurface soil funguses, and I've been trying to digest that, but it reads much deeper than like one of David's books do, because David's books are basically information comic strips. They're wonderful, good, easy to understand, quick read.
Give you that really quick information so you can get right to work and start in on it. Good books.
Yeah, excellent books. I tried to get Miss Woodcutter to read Steve Solomon's "Grow Like It Matters," I think is the name of it, or when growing counts, make growing. Anyway, so I tried to get her to read that book. She read like the first chapter or the introduction or whatever, and she set it down and that for months and months. And I was like, Shed Wars is coming, and I'm not going to be around as much. I need you to understand a little more about this gardening. If you're going to help me with this, please read this book. She said, I'll read it. And I noticed that David's book was out on, and she was consuming that material. So I think, both texts have their place, and, David does a really good job, like you say, getting you armed so you can go and get busy really quickly.
Yeah. Because, having deep source information is wonderful, but I've got one right here. Hang on a second. Boy, this is a great book for deep source information. But wow, it's some work.
Yeah.
So, I'm spilling black eyed peas all over the floor. This one is Radical Mycology by Peter McCoy. And it's here's my head by comparison.
Yeah, I don't think all that'll fit in your head.
Get in here. Oh wow, but Peter McCoy is fairly knowledgeable about mycology. I really love the charts and tables that are in that quick reference. If you had curiosity about when your oyster mushrooms out there, like elm oyster is going to fruit, you can have a look at the temperature and the relative humidity and get an idea about whether or not you can expect a fruiting or not, which is kind of cool. And of course, other things as well. Simply Jan says that's an awesome. I know it is. It's awesome. That is like, wow. What do you want to know? Boom, there it is. And then you can dig down even deeper on different stuff that's in there. But there's hundreds of thousands of plants and something suitable for your location. You will definitely find implants for a future.
Is that website linked to the International Seed Bank or the governmental, the USDA seed bank? The USDA has a seed bank that if you know the plant that you want, you can order seed from the USDA and they will send you seed. I've never done it before. I would love to, but they've got a lot of the old air. When you were looking for, I don't know, some kind of corn last year.
Yep.
We kind of talked about that a little bit. I don't know if you ever found the corn you were looking for, but I would bet that you can find it there and they will send you some seed stock. You might have to send them back some replenishment seed.
Right. But if anybody out there happens to have it, I'm looking for the spotted horse corn, the big spotted horse corn. It's a native Osage corn. They used to grow it here in northeastern Oklahoma back before any of the Europeans got here. And so that's a variety that's adapted for this particular area already. And it's a kind of mint corn, good for storage. You can make your masa out of it and stuff like that. But some of these varieties are kind of hard to find because there's just not many people out there growing them. Let's see. You didn't know you were. What? Oh my goodness. Bucky's going live in 30. Oh. I have no idea what's going on in that conversation. No idea at all. Oh.
Who is Tulsa Fox talking about has a big head?
Baker Creek has it. Okay, thank you, Patty. I'll check with Baker Creek then. Spotted horse corn. They were out of it the last time I checked, so if they've got it in stock now, that's great. I'll get some ordered up. I'll give growing corn one more try.
Corn takes a lot of space. I realized this year I planted 4 rows.
Right.
I planted 2 rows that were the correct distance, and then I planted a row 2 rows in between them. And my outside corn got tall, like it was supposed to, but the inside stayed stunted. And I just think that where I've messed up in the past with corn is I've spaced it too close together, and corn has a reach on the base of the plant that it's got to have room for. It doesn't compete with itself or anything else very well.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of a non-player when it comes to
it's odd for a grass that way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Corn's a weird plant. It's one of those things that I'm not entirely certain that it occurred naturally. There's the old corn corns that supposedly were the forerunners of the modern corn with the kernels on the ear, but it's so different. But that sort of mutation was just 1 in a million. If somebody caught that and said, "Oh, let's keep this and see if we can get it to grow like this," it's either that or I have crazy tinfoil hat theories about ancient genetic engineering.
We'll never know. So many of those old codices, those ancient texts, were destroyed in the name of Christendom. That these barbarians, we should not read their writings of what they have to say. Although the Aztecs, when the Aztecs and the Olmecs, they had already understood the concept of zero, which was not a concept in European mathematics for quite some time.
Yeah. There's also that curious map of Antarctica that shows the coast as it would look without ice on it, which hasn't happened any time that there's been recorded history that we know about has existed. So it came from somewhere. Somebody got their map How?
After World War II, there was a gentleman that was an Air Force commander of an entire squadron, I believe. He was like the chief commander of the Allied Air Force in World War II, and he flew over Antarctica and told all kinds of stories and wrote books and had, congressional hearings about, and it's pretty interesting, some of the stories that come out of Antarctica.
Simply Jan says, we had corn growing in the field behind us growing up. No fertilizer, no over at best corn ever. What kind of corn was it?
She didn't save any seeds. She froze it all and ate it.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that. Come across that corn and go, well, should I plant this or should I eat it? Oh, let's eat it. Mm-hmm. It's gone.
Okay. I got candy corn and silver queen. I think both are hybrids, but
yeah, well, if they're open pollinated, then save seed from them and plant it again the next year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that go, oh, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. It's horrible. It's a hybrid. And not all hybrids are sterile. There are sterile hybrids, but
yeah.
But
like a mule.
Like a mule. Yeah. Sometimes a cross produces sterile offspring. Whenever the chromosomes don't quite exactly line up just right, but they're close enough that you can get something. But then you have these parts that didn't fit. They get lost. And if you get those parts lost, then you don't get a whole child of those two parents. It can't reproduce itself.
You end up with a duck-billed platypus.
Yeah, that one's a strange critter. It's a mammal. It lays eggs. Okay. It has venom. And it's the only creature that I know of that has venom in its claws, of all things. Strange creature. Oh, yeah. Ancient genetic engineering. That's all I got to say about that. Somebody figured out CRISPR once upon a time. And then we got knocked back to the Stone Age.
You and I could talk about some stuff other than gardening if you'll let me here.
Oh,
yeah. You talk about the ancient knowledges and the CRISPR, the Anasazi, which is the oldest seeds, those beans that you grew, the Anasazis. They were the oldest. They were called the first people by the old Indian tribes in the North Americas. They were already here and gone. It's believed they're the ancestors of the Hopi and the Navajo and the other, what the Blackfoots would call the dirt eaters, because they kicked them out of the lush mountainous areas of the North, but anyway, that's between the Dene and the Blackfoot. That's not between me. I have no dog in that fight. But the Anasazi people believe that at one point they could control the weather and they could control water and they could control all aspects of their life, and they were miserable as a people. And so they decided to set away those things and return to a life in touch with the planet and the earth, and that was the tradition of the Anasazi. And it's interesting to me when you hear some of their traditions. You look at where they lived out in the middle of the desert, and their traditions are that it was lush and green, and you see all that their buildings are aligned to true north and mimic constellations in the sky, and they've got these huge road systems that nobody knows why they built. And it's fascinating that these are the same people we're saying corn came from. And they've got their own stories of the Dene picked up and what they call the corn pollen way and that sort of thing. But it's just some fascinating stuff, some fascinating ancient knowledges. And if it's true that at one point those civilizations knew how to control weather and all things, it's interesting that they chose to give it all up.
Well, there might be a reason for that. All this come at a price. We lose a lot whenever we rely on technology. We lose a lot of our resilience. Most of us don't really know how to cope without the technology, and disasters do happen. And the people that know how to cope without the technology, they survive. Unfortunately, they don't have that technology. All they have are stories about those magical people that came from the sky and visited at one time in the past, right? And somebody says, "Well, those are aliens." No, didn't necessarily need to be aliens. I mean, we are magical people that visit emerging cultures right now, and I don't know what they think.
Extraterrestrials for sure, right?
Well, we came from the sky, so
Yeah.
land the helicopter and go, "Hi, how are you doing? Here, this is a plow. let's help civilize you."
Yeah.
And then whenever they finally develop and they get out of their little fertile crescent area that they're developing, and they go, where did the gods go? They were here at one time, but we don't see them. We can't find them.
Yeah. Hey, here we go. Here's some conspiracy. Were those ancient food forests that they lived in? Were they placed into ancient food forests that were like gardens?
In the Amazon, yeah, I think so. I believe that's exactly what they were. That was well, you call it food forest, you call it gardening, you call it woodland gardening. I kind of like woodland gardening. It has a nice sound to it. It doesn't sound like the buzzwords, but yeah, that entire area, everything that was planted was designed specifically to reach up there. Here's the food, you eat it, and then you hear stories going back thousands of years about this garden where a man lived in simple innocence in contact with nature and the creator, to the point where you would see God face to face, and this was normal. And you reach up and the food is there and you take it and you eat it. I think this is not just a fairy tale. I think this is real. But I think that garden that they're talking about wasn't one place on Earth. I think it was Earth.
Yeah. Well, plate tectonics would say at one point that there was a Pangea, right? There was a single continent. And then there's an interesting verse of scripture that talks about a man named Peleg, and in his day, the earth was divided, and I love all ancient text and going back and studying what they all have to say, because it's interesting, some of the universal threads through each and all that lead back to much of the same general conclusion.
Yeah.
But, that this is a special place we live, take care of each other, take care of it. And, it's really a universal message.
I think if we were able to develop the ability to actually see it with our own eyes, when we walk out and we look at the world around us, if we develop that ability to see it, we'll find out we're still in the garden. We didn't leave physically the garden, but we left it up here. We forgot that we were living in a paradise. And so we chase after the glittering stuff that has no real value. And meanwhile, the garden is sitting there untended. Anyway, that's my crazy religious idea. But we are getting we just passed an hour here. Is somebody else planning on going live? Does anybody know? Let's see. Oh, Robertson's Bellyacres is live right now. They're torturing their children. Oh no.
I don't think I want to go see children being tortured.
I'm sure they're teasing, right?
I'm not going to find out.
They're probably taunting their children with their presents that they don't get to open for another day or two.
Yeah,
probably. That's going to be my guess.
I wonder, does anybody allow presents being opened early in the chat? Does anybody do that? Does anybody open present early in the chat?
I don't know. Let's take a look. Ta-da. I don't know. Let's see.
Who's the day after? I don't know who that is.
I don't know either. Amy, we have Wichita Pecans. They're technically a paper shell, but they're smaller like a native and sweet like a native. But they're a lot easier to get out of the shell than natives. Natives have a much harder shell, so they're sort of in between. I like them. Let's see. Voon says no. Chicken Johnny says no. Mary says me. Well, I consider Christmas to be every day of the year, so you open your presents when you get.
I tried to give my girls their presents 3 days ago, and then they said, no, if we open it now, we won't have anything to open on Christmas. I tried to let them open it early, and they wouldn't. They refused.
But your best I can't talk. Your best Christmas shopping is after the first.
Yeah, for sure. Have you been ordering seeds? Have you got all your seeds ordered?
I do not have all my seeds ordered. I need to get on the ball. I need to get busy ordering them. I've got a lot of planning I need to get done. It's just one thing after another. But we got the roof taken care of. They did it all in one day. They arrived at about sun up yesterday, and we're here until about 5 in the afternoon, 5 in the evening. Evening. It was starting to get dark out, and then this morning they came back to haul off the dumpster with everything that they took off the roof. They stripped the roof down, removed all the well, not all of the decking. Wasn't decking. It was 1x12s. This house is that old, but they used 1x12 boards instead of OSB or decking up there. They removed all the damaged stuff, replaced it with fresh sheets of OSB, or in some cases they just replaced a board or two here and there, and then put fresh shingles on. They put a couple of layers of material on to seal the nails as they go in. So hopefully that takes care of the leaking problem.
Yeah. Did you end up getting a metal roof?
No. In order to get a metal roof, they would have replaced everything.
Oh.
To get it up to the point where it could support the metal roof, and the expense of that was more than Mary was willing to put up with. What we put up here, about half covered by the insurance.
That's good.
Well, 17,000. It's close enough to 20,000. Yeah, 20,000. They would have had to have just gone in and taken everything off, and then replaced everything, and then put on the metal roof.
Do you see what Amy said?
No, maybe.
I don't even know what seeds I need anymore, she said. And Jules said we open one on the eve. The kids get something and something to do, and then the stockings to the rest. The day of Christmas, you open, and then you only get one on the eve. That's the way I grew up, is one on the eve, and then you get on Christmas. And usually your Christmas Eve was like pajamas that you would take pictures in the next day. Dorky. It's just family traditions.
John doesn't get presents.
He shouldn't go cold with all the coal he's going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Is that too easy?
He was kind of like that.
Who was it that called him the devil the other day?
Oh, is that Jules?
I think it was Jules called him the devil.
No.
I call him the chicken neck weasel because he's kind of like a weasel. You got to watch him. You don't always know what he's up to. He's like a chicken neck weasel.
Do weasels have chicken necks?
That one on the YouTube's called Will It Grow does. He's got a chicken neck and he's a weasel. I think he tries to make up for his chicken neckedness by choking those chickens on his YouTube channel. He's always grabbing a chicken around the neck and trying to choke it out with his pepper and stuff. I think it just, when he looks in the mirror, the first thing that he says in his mind is chicken neck weasel. And so he tries to make up for it with these plastic chickens and stuff.
Not call John Will It Grow the devil. Well, I don't remember, to be honest. Okay. I don't rightly remember either. I mean, we can go back and look.
Boots and Bounty Homestead said they do PJs on Christmas Eve. Right on.
We used to when I was a kid. But a lot of that stuff I don't do anymore.
I think my wife bought me a pair of footed pajamas for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah. Should I put those on the YouTubes? No, I'm not putting those on the YouTubes.
Do they come with the hood and the button?
I think they've got a flap that folds down.
Oh, the old-fashioned variety. Nice. I had some when I was a kid. I haven't seen those in a long time though.
Yeah. Why would you want it in the back though? Wouldn't you want to open the fold in the front? I'm just thinking out loud.
I don't know.
Did you know that an almanac has like a set number of pages? Look, it's like 202, 220 pages. And you know, they always have a hole in the corner. Do you know why that is?
I figured that was so you could hang it up on a nail.
Yeah,
but
like if you were in the outhouse.
Yeah, it's like last year's almanac. There we go.
Yeah. And
reading material for what you're, thinking about important matters.
Proper paperwork. Yeah.
After you've eaten a little bit of a little fingerling of that aloe vera, and you're out there in the outhouse and reading about what you're going to be planting next year or something like that, you can just go off a sheet.
Jan, if it's got a flap, that's the best. You can always cut a hole in the front. Jan, you a bad girl, Jan. Oh.
Well, they're being noisy next door. So for those that don't know, I'm in two churches. There's one to the north and there's one over here on the east of me. And I guess they're having a little shindig tonight. Right. And they'll probably be out again on Thursday night. And then they'll probably be there Friday morning. So it's going to be noisy for the next couple of days. Let's see, they're supposed to be butting out the front.
Where is Terry's family live? A 6'4" Pikachu with a blood flap will be making an appearance on the Woodcutter compound Christmas Day. Yeah.
Pikachu. Choo.
All right. Yeah, Jan. Jason, when he put on his shirt, right?
Yeah.
It's sweet. I bought mine a little small. I'm gonna just. What size did you get? Did you get a 3X?
I got a 3X. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife. I probably should have gotten a 2 or 3X. It fits really good, but it fits too good around the belly, and so and it hides under the man boobs. And so when I bend down, all the shed goes and crunches up. But the shed wars is above the boob line, so the moobs don't do anything to cover it up.
Right.
Oh, look. Hey, check this out.
Can you hold a pencil under them?
Wait.
Oh no! Children, avert your gaze.
There it is. Rah!
Nice.
See, it just. Woo!
Yay! We match. Is it just the lighting, or is yours more green than mine?
They're the same color. It's just pixelation on the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, we had that discussion when Robert selected this color. I flipped out. I was like, that's the worst color ever. Why would you pick that color? It was actually a pretty traumatizing event. Robert should have quit being my friend after that. but we ended up
Oh.
sticking with the green and the brown, and
Hi,
I'm glad
Amy.
we did. It looks yellow.
Look. Hey.
Like right in your face.
Boom. Yeah. Let's see. What setting is good? There we go.
Let me get rid of this other one.
The other one, hey, when you had it the
I
other
was
way, Amy looked
echoing.
like she had 80s big hair.
I kind of do. I don't know what's happening tonight. That didn't help, did it?
Here, I'll go bad hair day with you.
All right. So, Amy,
I need a hat.
Here in about 2 minutes, I'm going to ask you about your backsplash.
I sound like a robot. Say that again.
I said, here in about 2 minutes, girls are going to be asking you about your backsplash.
My bad. Do you see this wall over here? That needs painted. That's needed painted for like 6 months. I hate those two colors. That finger won't do what I want it to do. That blue is like from the 50s. Did I
see you pointing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. What? Huh? What was that? Yeah.
Okay. Just
hang on a second. I'm definitely listening. Hey. What'd you say? Oh, I can't hear out of this one.
Amy, do you want some tobacco? Do you want some tobacco seed? Okay.
Yes.
Because I thought of you when I was dividing that up. I think I asked Jason. Jason said he didn't want any seeds. Some other people I talked to said they didn't want to grow tobacco. And I said, I bet Amy would love growing tobacco. And then my next thought was, I think it's kind of dangerous when you cure it and all. And she may not want it around those little girls always helping her. And so I decided not to send it to you. But now that I know that you want it, it's coming your way. I'll have to send you another package. So,
okay, awesome.
Do you have any preferences? Because I've got like
hang on a second. Hang on a second. Let me turn off my earbuds. I don't think they're connected very well or something. Okay. Say that again.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes. It was my earbuds then.
So I've got Tennessee red leaf. I've got Mohawk. I've got like Wanda Knot. There's all kinds of varieties. Does it matter to you? I'll pick something out and send it your way.
I don't think my connection is very good, guys.
It's probably mine.
Yeah, Mark's kind of chopping up a bit there, but he's out there in that area of the world where they still have copper lines.
Say that again.
But Mark lives out in the part of the world where they still have copper lines. Dial up and copper
yeah, I
lines.
think it's my connection. I don't think it's yours. Because you sound like a robot too. Do I sound like a robot?
No, you sound fine.
Yeah, I think it's my connection. Because you sound like a robot too.
Aw, Patty. Hey, do you have any comments left?
I'm gonna jump off of here.
Okay. All right. So I just saw a notification that came up on YouTube that Oklahoma Ridgelife is going live. That would be Preston. Dale, are you guys hanging out tonight, or is he live by himself? I know it's going to take him forever to get back. Well, guys, it's been a little bit past the hour, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, and I'm going to go check out and see what the Mullet Man is up to. If somebody's got his channel address, go ahead and share that in the chat for everyone, and maybe I'll see you over that way. And I'm going to call it a night. So thanks for stopping by, and have a Merry Christmas. Good night. Oh, he's going by himself. Okay. Good night, everybody.